Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? Looks like nature keeps trying to take us out, but they can't. We're still here. We're a little shaken. There was a big earthquake this morning. I think you probably all felt it. There's just a little bit of damage, it looks like, in Salt Lake City. A few thousand people without power. Maybe you're one of them. If you are, comment below. I want to see and hear from you. Looks like Moroni lost an arm. They had to evacuate the airport. There was some water falling through the roof. I was actually in my car driving to Costco, and I thought I had a flat tire because the car kept jiggling like this. But I got out, no flat tire, and then it kind of hit me. Oh, that's an earthquake. So kind of scary. So a couple things about earthquakes that I just wanted to share real quick. First, this was a perfectly normal earthquake. And by normal, I mean this one right here in the middle. So this whole valley, starting right here in Salt Lake City and all the way west through Nevada, is what is known as basin and range process. So this earth has been stretching out for a few million years. And because it's stretching out, you get these plates that are kind of separating and these fault lines here that are being formed as the earth kind of rotates and separates. So it's kind of like if it's pulling this apart, they kind of rotate and separate like this. So we get these mountain ranges going north and south, starting right here at the Wasatch, going pretty much all the way out west to California. So quick review from last year. There's strike-slip faults where the earthquake just kind of slips side by side like this. Normal fault where they're kind of spreading apart like we just talked about. And then the thrust fault, which is where two plates are being pushed together. Now, any given fault is sort of a combination of some of these, but we're right here pretty much, it's normal. And when I say normal, I mean feeling an earthquake in Salt Lake isn't normal. But it has been for the last millions of years if we think on geologic time. So we're spreading out, and the mountains are getting higher, and the valley is getting lower. And that's just something we expect when we live next to big mountains like that. They didn't just appear there. They happen over millions of years as we get big earthquakes every few hundred years. This isn't the biggest one that we could have gotten. I would consider us pretty lucky. There's a couple ways to measure earthquakes. The main way that scientists measure it now is the Richter scale. You've probably heard of this. It's a scale of 0 to 10. What you may not have known is that it is an exponential scale, meaning that an earthquake size 8 is 10 times stronger than an earthquake that is a 7 on the Richter scale, which is 10 times stronger than an earthquake that is 6 on the Richter scale. So the earthquake that happened this morning was a 5.7, right around here, and we would consider that a small earthquake. Even though we felt it, they can get much more dangerous and stronger than that. So what we're hoping not to get, but what some scientists think in Salt Lake, we could get a 7 or an 8 on the Richter scale. And if we had one of those, I probably wouldn't be doing a video right after the fact. Okay, there'd be a lot more damage. Another way, and this is the last thing I want to share with you, that scientists can measure, or not even scientists, just normal people can measure the intensity of an earthquake, is using the Mercalli Scale. This goes from a 1 all the way up to a 12, which is catastrophic. And you measure this not with special instruments or seismometers, but with what you felt or saw in your house. So, for example, a moderate, a level 4 earthquake says, felt indoors by many to all people and outdoors by a few people. Some awakened, dishes, windows, and doors disturbed, and walls make cracking sounds. Chandeliers and indoor objects shake noticeably. The sensation is more like a heavy truck striking building. Standing automobiles rock noticeably. Dishes and windows rattle alarmingly. Damage none. So that's just an example. If that's what you felt, and that's what most people felt, they would call it a level 4. Oftentimes before we had Richter scales all over the place. This is what they use. And this is still what people use when we can't get a Richter scale. So that's it for now. Comment below. What did you feel?